What's up, it's your boy Jingo here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my 2021 updated settings. So my playstyle from last year hasn't really changed that much, so I still have that same slow sensitivity and fast acceleration. So the numbers are just a little different. So let's go take a look right now. So before we get to that actual control settings, let's go take a look at the general. I'm pretty sure nothing has changed. I believe there is no Korean still? Yeah, there's no Korean. Terrible choice by the developers, by the way. Removing Korean language. FPS is still at 120. Quick switch is still at primary. Auto equip, I'll definitely turn that off. Automatic weapon swap. Automatic knife swap. This is basically, if you run out of ammo, it'll switch to your pistol, and if you run out of ammo on your pistol, it'll go to your knife. But it only happens if you have no reserve ammo, so it's pretty useless. So dynamic crosshair is kind of weird for me. I kind of switch it off and on depending on the day, and usually dynamic is to warm up and static is my main crosshair. Hit markers, I have it on because there's no blood with armor. Damage indicator is small because it resembles the old ones from 2017. You don't want it to be outside of your vision. It's kind of hard to see them, so you kind of want to know where you're getting shot from. Crosshair size, I wish it was lower than this, but this is as low as it goes, man. Like there's no customization here, sadly. The crosshair will remain this size and this thickness and this stroke, and it's pretty ugly, but I wish it was smaller, but I keep it at 30. Show HUD, of course you want to see what you're doing. Have that opacity at 20%. So while I'm spectating, or if I want to count my ammo, I can actually see it instead of it being invisible. I don't block friend requests, and I don't filter chat. I don't disable any chats, and I don't... Okay, next one. So before I get to my settings, which you can already see right here, I'm gonna go ahead and show my HUD. Now that this is completely movable, I put this to the side of my mini-map because it used to be over here, right? So now I can put it back over here and put the mini-map back on top, because if you saw my first video when I came back, my mini-map was at the bottom, and that's because of the metal. Now that the metal is movable, I moved my mini-map back to the top. Other than that, nothing has changed. Dynamic movement pad, I don't have this because it's really hard to jiggle, at least for my HUD. Hold scope to aim, release scope button to shoot. These are really like you like the idea, right? The theory behind these two settings was very good, but the execution just wasn't there. I mean, they're kind of useless to any skilled player. Now, basically what I did, I've been experimenting with a lot of sensitivities around the 0 to 1 range, and I see 85 seems to be like that middle spot for my X, and it happens to be the exact same value as my Y. So I have a 1-to-1 ratio from X and Y, so I think that's pretty nice. It helps when aiming up and down and diagonally. It's really easy. The downside of having such a low X is that my sniper sensitivity needs to be increased to compensate for that low sensitivity. So now my sniper sensitivity is at 180%. Fire button aim sensitivity, this is for thumbs players. If you're a thumbs player, I would put that at 100% or maybe lower. Other than that, if you're a claw player, this is actually gonna mess you up. You want to put that to 0. What it does is when you press down on the shoot button, the finger that's on the shoot button will move your screen. Aim acceleration at 100%, so I have a fast sensitivity depending on the speed of my swipes. And I don't invert. I have 100% aim assist stuff, of course. It's really like overpowered. Now for my gyroscope settings, it's really on and off, but lately for my sniper, I've been using 30 and 20 and 200. So this is for sniper only, by the way. If I'm rifling or pistoling, I prefer to turn it off. Now we go to the graphics setting. For my graphics settings, I'm not really sure what to do with them. I mean, I barely see a difference. You either go max or low. And I don't know, I kind of like the look of max, it looks beautiful, but you just you take a heavy blow to your visuals in terms of competitiveness, if that makes sense. It's just because of the smokes, actually. If the smokes weren't so scuffed and bad, I think that texture quality would be back at high. So right now I have the absolute max graphics, except for particles and environmental particles, because the particles, they changed them and they're humongous, white, disturbing. They're very distracting. So no particles. Color grading, I see absolutely no change when I flip it on and off, so that's just on medium, which is the highest. So everything here is high except for, you know, those two check marks and texture quality because of the terrible smoke grenades. So moving on to audio, we go to 20%, and this is because when you record iOS in-game, it is extremely loud. So I turned it down to 20% so I don't have to do it manually in LumaFusion. You should probably do the same if you consider uploading. Ambient audio is kind of distracting. I feel like you should just turn that off because it has nothing to do with the enemy movements. You want to be able to hear their footsteps, not some random stuff going on in the background. So other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are my iPad settings. I do want to go ahead and show you guys my phone settings. So let's pull it up right over here. So here we are on our phone settings, and you know, I've been playing on the phone, you know, actually quite a bit during my break. So I kind of tweaked it to the point where I kind of like it. So this should be exactly the same. If it's not, then it's my fault. Yeah, let me just uncheck that. Let's go straight to the control settings because this is where it differs from my iPad. So right here, let's go to the control HUD. So you guys can notice quite a difference right here. And this is due to the fact that the phone is very small. So I have all the buttons maxed out in size, and I put them all on the top of the screen, left of the screen, right of the screen, everywhere. But you guys can see the same kind of pattern. I use the left index for 3 actions. I just put it into an upside down triangle shape because it's easier to hit on a phone when I have a curled finger. My chat and pause button are right next to my left thumb, and that's pretty convenient because the top of my screen is completely gone because of that crouch button. Minimap is in the same position, metal's in the same position, bind diffuse in the same position, reload in the thumb section, and I got a shoot button right over there, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's basically the same, but you know, just ported to the phone. Now here is where it gets interesting. Now we have an extremely low Y and a decently speedy X compared to my iPad. I mean, it's at 1. So exactly at 1 and exactly at 0.6. So my X is kind of higher than my Y. And basically the reason behind this is because when I drag down, it actually dragged down really, really fast. And because your phone is a small screen, you don't really need to control the recoil that much. So I just lowered it to 0.6 and it was really comfortable. And of course I use the same scope sensitivity due to the low settings, and I use the same acceleration due to the low settings, same aim assist, and here's the magic right here. Scope is at 200%, the gyro is at 60 and 50. So this is not only for sniper, but also for rifles. So if I don't want to control the recoil with my thumb, I would use the gyro on the phone. So that's pretty much it. Everything else is basically the same. Let me just uncheck environmental particles. Yep. But yeah, basically everything's the same. I don't know why this is at low. So boom. So there you guys have it. That's my phone settings. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. So if you decide to use my settings, if they aren't for you, that's okay. These are just pro settings. This is my personal preference. The best thing that you can do is tweak my settings to your likings. So if you think that the X is too low, increase it and still use my Y and still use the same Y. So like doing things like that can change the sensitivity to make it more comfortable to what your needs are. Unless you truly think that these settings are very comfortable, I strongly suggest not straight up copying them, and you should just tweak them, you know? Get the general gist of what I'm trying to accomplish with my low settings. So other than that, that's all I got for today. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. A PP!